Americans often complain about our tax dollars going to endless wars, supporting other countries, or non-citizens at home. But we forget how much of our hard-earned cash ends up at super-rich college institutions, already sitting on billions they've collected over the years through tuition, donations, and of course, federal grants. In other words, your tax dollars. Recently, we've seen headlines about Trump freezing federal funding to high-end colleges due to compliance issues, such as administrators refusing to remove DEI policies from their handbooks. As a result, more people are asking, why are we giving these elite schools any tax money at all? Thanks for stopping by NPC Overrider, where we challenge mainstream source code to develop independent thought, one user story at a time. Grab your W-2 and debit card, and let's log into the NPC system for this week's story. Danielle, a 32-year-old waitress, works double shifts to support her 4-year-old daughter, Sophia. Childcare costs $900 a month, nearly half her income. She applied for assistance from the state's child care program, but was denied due to its limited availability. With no family nearby, Danielle leaves Sophia with her neighbor, constantly worrying about her safety. James, a 45-year-old Army veteran, completed 2 combat tours in Afghanistan and has struggled with PTSD since returning home 5 years ago. Anxiety and lack of sleep impact his job, but the nearest VA clinic is 3 hours away, and telehealth appointments are limited and not much help to begin with. Mark, a 55-year-old farmer, faced a health scare when his chest pain struck last month. His local hospital closed 2 years ago, and the nearest emergency room is a 90-minute drive. Rural healthcare grants didn't reach his county, so ambulances are few and far between. But it's not all doom and gloom. Last year, the president of Harvard University was relaxing on his yacht when his phone rang. It was his assistant confirming that the school had secured another $686 million in taxpayer money. The president of the University of Texas at Austin was snoozing on his private jet en route to St. Bart's Island in the Caribbean last year when his iPad dinged. It was an email informing him that the school had received about $645 million in taxpayer-funded grants. The president of Yale University took a bite of his foie gras at the French Laundry as his VP of Finance casually mentioned they'd cleared $900 million in federal benefits. All thanks to us, the American taxpayers. Now, although Ivy League presidents make buku bucks, I don't know whether these guys or gals have yachts or private planes or what have you, but that's not the point. A recent study by the watchdog organization Open the Books revealed that the U.S. most elite universities have received a mind-blowing $45 billion with a B in taxpayer money since 2018 alone. Does this sound right? Our mainstream program says it must be. We've been doing it for years, and nobody's rioting in the streets.
With public education. 150 years ago, incredibly brave Americans said, you know what? Working class kids, low income kids should not have to work in factories or on the farms. Like rich kids, they deserve to get a free education. And that free education of extraordinary accomplishment was from first grade to 12th grade. The world has changed. This is 2016. In many ways, a college degree today is equivalent to what a high school degree was 50, 60 years ago. So yeah, I do believe that when we talk about public education in America today, in a rapidly changing world, we should have free tuition at public colleges and universities. That should be a right of all Americans, regardless of the income of their family.
Let's check out the supporting points here as far as why we should be funding these colleges with taxpayer money. Number 1, increased access. Number 2, economic benefits. 3, global competitiveness. And 4, social progress. Number 1, increased access. We all know the debt baggage that comes along with going to college. By subsidizing education, we can make college affordable or possibly free. This way, lower income students could pursue an education without the fear of long-term loans holding them back. Traditionally, only the upper class could attend college, while less fortunate individuals had to join the military or obtain some scholarship for sports in order to get a free or discounted ride. Number 2, economic benefits. The more people who go to college, the more skilled our workforce becomes. This way, we can drive innovation, create jobs, and in turn, increase future tax revenue through higher productivity. That also means more jobs at the colleges themselves as the institutions expand. A 2024 study published in Humanities and Social Sciences Communications analyzed data from 38 countries. It found populations with higher education levels significantly contributed to GDP growth through technological innovation. Point 3, global competitiveness. While Americans pay an arm and a leg for college, other countries are becoming increasingly more competitive by offering free tuition for EU students in places like Germany, France, and Finland. As Americans are limited in higher education, the global workforce and innovation will eventually surpass that of the United States. Federal grant money also funds scientific breakthroughs in cancer, autoimmune diseases, and the development of rapid charging batteries. The iron lung, you can thank Harvard researchers for that. Number 4, social progress. Enrolling in college can improve the economy and national strength, as well as enhance daily social interactions. When people are educated, they're financially better off and able to understand the world around them in ways they couldn't without having gone to college. Studies show college graduates are more likely to vote, promote equality, and contribute to cultural enrichment. We can also relieve burdens on the healthcare industry, as college graduates are more likely to live healthier lives by eating better and taking care of their mental and emotional well-being. Okay, here's the rebuttal that says taxpayer funding for higher education should be limited.
We need to rein in this federal presence, starting with the student financial aid program. We should start offering alternative private ways to finance higher ed. One promising idea is something called income share agreements, where private investors agree to pay much of the college costs of students in return for a percentage of their post-college earnings for a certain number of years. The concept transfers the risks of going to college largely to the investor from the student, reduces federal involvement, provides us market information on the value of different colleges, levels of academic performances, and majors. States need to rethink what they can do. It's arguable whether they should support higher education at all. But if they do, why not support students directly instead of institutions? Give scholarships to students that vary with academic performance, family income, and ability. Emulate the voucher concept we talked about, or tax credits that we talked about before lunch in higher ed.
Main points. Number 1 is wealthy colleges don't need it. 2, funds are misallocated. 3, causes an unfair burden on taxpayers. And 4, there are far better uses for these funds. Point number 1, wealthy colleges don't need it. Here's the top 5 richest U.S. colleges by endowment. Number 1, Harvard at $51 billion. 2, University of Texas at Austin at $47 billion. 3, Yale University at $41 billion. 4, Stanford University at $37 billion. And 5, Princeton University at $34 billion. The average tuition at Harvard is around $60,000. At Yale, it's about $67,000. And at Stanford, it's about $62,000. Why are we giving taxpayer funds to these ultra-rich, tax-exempt institutions while they continue to collect millions in tuition, room and board, books, and meal plans? These schools are also massive landowners. Point number 2, funds are misallocated. Yale, Brown, and other Ivy League schools face lawsuits for allegedly overcharging students through fixed financial aid. Columbia and NYU leverage tax-exempt status to hold commercial properties, dodging taxes on public services. But it gets more sinister. In Operation Varsity Blues, school officials at Yale, Harvard, and other prestigious institutions accepted bribes disguised as charitable donations to secure admission for the children of wealthy parents. Lesser known for-profit chains such as Corinthian Colleges and ITT Technical Institute systematically misappropriated federal student aid funds, which were Title IV funds, by falsifying job placement rates, inflating costs, and diverting funds to marketing and executive pay, ultimately costing the taxpayers billions. Lone wolf fraudsters, such as the esteemed Dr. Charles L. Bennett from Northwestern University in Illinois, used our tax dollars from 2003 to 2010 for personal expenses to include dinners, hotels, and travel. Number 3, unfair burden on taxpayers. Whether colleges systematically commit tax fraud or do so individually, it's all courtesy of you on top of everything else we pay for, such as the bloated healthcare system, war, and all the nonsense Doge found. If, as claimed, more educated people meant a better society, then more might be willing to fit the bill. However, more people have access to education than ever before, yet our economy and our standing on the global stage are not reciprocating. Low-level workers shouldn't be expected to subsidize colleges while struggling families and individuals are forgotten. Number 4, there's better uses for funds. While ultra-rich colleges continue to rake in billions, schools that actually need help and may provide actual skills collect peanuts in comparison. Community colleges and trade schools offer real-world skills and job opportunities after graduation at a fraction of the cost of elite universities or even state colleges that offer nonsensical degrees such as folklore, queer studies, or feminist history. There are plenty of K-12 schools with students who genuinely need help getting the basics such as learning how to read. Danielle's at her wit's end as childcare soars to $1,000 a month. Still on an 18-month waiting list for assistance, she continues to leave her daughter with unreliable neighbors. Racked with stress while serving tables, Danielle falls closer to financial and emotional ruin. James's future continues to darken as his crippling anxiety and nightmares keep him from working and getting proper assistance. He made multiple claims to the VA, but there's a long waiting list, and he can't continue to make the 6-hour round trip to the nearest VA clinic. Mark looks out over the farm that his family maintained for generations. Even with a Life Alert bracelet, the chances of a distant ambulance service reaching him and transporting him to the ER 90 minutes away in time are slim. With little chance for rural healthcare grants and deteriorating health, the next health scare could leave his family and legacy in the dust. You can argue about where the funds do or don't come from, as well as the differences in red tape between college funding, child care, veteran support, or rural healthcare. But in my opinion, no amount of explanation excuses funding these billion-dollar elitist colleges while everyday Americans struggle to grind through life, especially the ones who need serious help. I believe we should freeze all funding, or at least significantly reduce it, regardless of whether colleges suspend their DEI policies. College is supposed to be reserved for those with the academic chops to stand out. Today, everybody has a college degree, and its meaning has been diluted. Being a Harvard, Yale, or Stanford alumnus doesn't hold the punch it once did. From here, it looks like it's a giant racket. Are you okay with paying for it? That's it for this NPC Override. I'm Greg, your lead engineer. If you enjoyed it, set the like button to true for me, please. Share it with a friend, or open a ticket in the comments section. If you want to join our dev team, hit the subscribe button. But for now, we're off for a beer. Thanks again. Have a good one.